I did this video yesterday, but I need to redo it because TikTok muted the sound on it, and I'm afraid YouTube will do the same thing. And I think I've isolated why the sound was removed on it, because I used one specific word, and that's a no-no word. So we're going to do it again without the no-no word. And ironically, the no-no word, you're going to see it in the process of the video here, is a word used by one of the two dipshits that I'm spotlighting in this video. So, having said that, take two. In case you were not aware, the older millennial and a failed Republican congressional candidate out of Ohio are both currently attacking the credentials of Mr. Global. I'm going to show you a few videos to kind of bring you up to speed here and explain to you. You already know about the older millennial. I'm going to explain to you a little bit about the failed Republican congressional candidate out of Ohio. And we're going to see who we believe when this is all said and done with, okay? So, the first thing to know is that the older millennial went after Mr. Global for calling himself a globally recognized subject matter expert. And Mr. Older Millennial said that Mr. Global is the only person calling Mr. Global a globally recognized anything, and that it doesn't work that way if you call yourself that. This was Mr. Global's reply.
And you were a well site manager, and then for a well supervisor for Shell, and then a completions and well intervention supervisor, which, by the way, is what your LinkedIn says. And then you were a well site manager, and then the first time you're referred to as an oil and gas expert, oh, look at that, you were self-employed. So again, it's just you saying you're an oil and gas expert.
No, not just me. And I've had to cover up a couple of names here, but this is my formal appointment to be a subject matter expert. To me, April 30th, 2019. I achieved this formal appointment after I worked on the team that wrote the global standards for hydraulic fracturing and well site operations for Shell exploration. And that's why the title says globally recognized. That means the industry recognizes me. Very few experts actually have that designation. They're mainly just recognized by the media, or they published a book or something. As far as my LinkedIn page that you and your friend are so concerned about, I told him that wasn't my page, and I put a picture in the comments of his video and said, hey, this is my page, not the one you're showing, and he deleted that so everyone wouldn't see my actual LinkedIn page, and then accused me of something. And you know, it was weird, the next day I couldn't get into LinkedIn because it had been mass reported. Yeah. But I got it back, as you can see. I'm not saying anybody did that. I'm just saying it happened. Just a coinky-dink. So no, my title isn't something I made up. It's not something that's in my head. I never used the title of expert until I was formally granted that by the industry I work in.
So just to keep you up to speed, the older millennial attacks Mr. Global's credibility and says the only person saying that Mr. Global is a globally recognized subject matter expert is himself. Then Mr. Global goes, well, no, here's Shell giving me that designation. And then this is the older millennial's reply to that.
So I called out Mr. Global, pointing out how nobody but himself views himself as a globally recognized subject matter expert. And here was his response.
No, not just me. And I've had to cover up a couple of names here, but this is my formal appointment to be a subject matter expert. To me, April 30th, 2019.
Dude, that's just your company saying you're a subject matter expert on, like, your particular job. That doesn't mean you're globally recognized.
So he goes from nobody but you is saying you are this, and then Mr. Global goes, well, no, Shell is saying it, and then he goes, well, that's just your company saying it. That doesn't mean that you're globally recognized. I don't know if the older millennial is aware of this or not, but, you know, Shell doesn't just operate like in a quadrant of the United States. They're a global company, you fucking dumbass. Having said that, the other guy involved in all of this is failed Republican congressional candidate J.R. Majewski. This is his take on this. Sorry, one of the many videos he made about this.
All right, here's the last thing I'll say about this whole Mr. Global thing. Dude, you're not being honest. You know it. Subject matter expert is not the same thing as a global industry expert. An SME is relegated to the subject matter in which they work in. Be honest, dude. You're like the left-wing version of Billy Bob Thornton in Oil Man. You're a field guy. You're smart enough to talk the talk, but that doesn't mean you're an expert. You are in fracking or whatever the hell it is, but I'll tell you, I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I called my friends at Marathon. I called my friends at Shell. I called my friends at the Empowerment Alliance. I called my friends at the EPRI, at the Power Research Institute. None of them know who you are. If you were an expert, they would know who you are, and you know that. Look, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You're a grown-ass man, but don't throw my name in it. If you continue to do that, then, well, I don't think Shell would like the fact that you're out using their letterhead to convince a million or so people that follow you that you're an expert, while simultaneously shitting on the president.
What the fuck does shitting on the president have to do with anything? These fucking clowns. So you called your friends at a few places, huh? Would you call the manager at your local fucking gas station and they never heard of him? This guy goes on to say that he's got a friend who actually wrote the report that Mr. Global said that he was part of writing. And what's funny is, he goes, she's never heard of you. Then tell her to come forward. But you're claiming she wrote the whole fucking thing. Global's claiming it was part of a team, and I would tend to lead towards that being a team effort, considering its extreme importance. If you guys don't know who this guy is, J.R. Majewski, this is who he is. J.R. Majewski, embattled congressional candidate, exits Ohio race. This was ahead of the 2022 midterm elections. J.R. Majewski announced Saturday he will bow out of the GOP primary for a key Ohio congressional seat after a week of waffling on his future in the race. His departure, just 2 weeks before the March 19th primary, is welcome news for the House Republican leaders who have maneuvered behind the scenes to nudge him out of the primary out of fear he would lose the general election to the Democrat. Your own fucking party didn't even want you. Majewski, the 2022 GOP nominee for Northwest Ohio's 9th Congressional District, lost to the Democrat by double digits after news reports indicated that he had lied about serving in combat in Afghanistan. So he's also a stolen valor asshole. Said that he served in combat when he didn't. His candidacy was a blow to House Republicans who previously saw the district as one of their best pickup opportunities in 2022. To their chagrin, Majewski launched a comeback bid in 23, only to drop out weeks later, citing his mother's health. He later got back in the race. Majewski came under fire again last month when he appeared on a podcast and called Special Olympic athletes the R word. That's the word I believe was the reason why my other video got taken down. Or was muted, my apologies. He then confirmed to Politico on Tuesday he was considering dropping out of the race once again, and that he believed those comments could hurt him in a general election. But on Wednesday, he issued a defiant statement that he would remain in the primary. On Saturday, he issued yet another defiant statement on Twitter saying that, quote, while I know I would win, he was also suspending his campaign. Speaker Mike Johnson and the House GOP campaign chief Richard Hudson of North Carolina brought his comments to the attention of former President Donald Trump and his team at a President's Day meeting at Mar-a-Lago. They asked the former president for help in neutralizing Majewski out of fear he would again blow their chances in the district. Majewski confirmed to Politico that he was in contact with people on Trump's team. It's unclear what role they played, in his exit. If any, I should have said. So let's see here. You're a failed congressional candidate whose own party can't stand him, who uses the R word to describe Special Olympians, and who lied and said he served in combat when he didn't, has stolen valor. The older millennial is a drunk that dodges drunk driving warrants, evades arrest from the police, and there are now questions about what he did with over $3 million from some of his supporters. Let me see. A failed congressional candidate and a piece of shit TikToker, or Shell Oil, the 5th largest oil company on the planet. Who am I going to believe here? Who am I going to believe? This is a tough one.